Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Time Traveler's Handbook. In this episode, we are going to be talking about Season 4, Episode 12 and 13, titled The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. Spoilers ahead for both. In the Season 4 finale of Doctor Who, Davros, creator of the Daleks, uses the orientation of 23 stolen planets to attempt to detonate a reality bomb, which threatens to destroy all matter in the universe. I mentioned in the previous episode that the fabric of reality was damaged, and this episode is the culmination of that damaging. There's a bit to uncover from the previous episode, so let's talk about the Stolen Earth first. The 23 stolen planets have been stored in a pocket universe inside the Medusa Cascade. As we've talked about before, pocket universes are alternate universes that exist outside the normal course of time and space. The way that this pocket universe was formed was by temporarily desynchronizing the whole area, meaning that everything inside of it was not existing at the right time to appear in the prime universe. Think of everything just being a nanosecond off of the prime universe, and that's why the Doctor has such a hard time finding it. The Medusa Cascade is an inter-universal rift, which means that it is meant to serve as a gateway between two universes, and where there are rifts, the universe is broken, as we learned in our Doomsday episode, which is why Davros is able to do what he is trying to do. The reality bomb is a little bit vague, but it is essentially a weapon using the energy of certain planets' orientations to power it. There's something about these 23 planets in particular that makes this possible, and that's just the way the universe works. It's not really explained any further. The particulars of how the reality bomb works matter less than what happens when you theoretically switch it on. And while we don't really see it go off or really have a widespread impact, we can always speculate. There is a scene where they do a test on a group of people, and you can see that they are essentially erased from existence. But how that happens and what makes these 23 planets have that kind of power is just unknown. So we're going to speculate about what the reality bomb actually does. Davros says that the reality bomb will destroy all matter in the universe. That's one thing that could happen. You could just have it be a bomb that is extremely powerful and destroy everything. But that doesn't explain why stars are going out in the universe beforehand throughout the whole season, so there must be some other effect that this weapon has. I postulate that because these planets are oriented together inside an inter-universal rift, the Medusa Cascade, destroying matter in this location spreads to all moments throughout all time. So it picks the targets, destroys them, and destroys all instances of them throughout all history, such that that thing that was destroyed never existed in the first place. Normally, you would think that destroying something in the past would mean that it no longer exists in the future. That's essentially a grandfather paradox. We talked about that before. I think by the nature of the reality bomb, destroying everything throughout the entire history of the thing that it's destroying is enough to get around the grandfather paradox that you'd otherwise be creating. Essentially, this is one of two perfect examples that we'll see in Doctor Who of a method of completely erasing a person out of existence, and we'll get to the other one. It's in the 11th Doctor section of the show. I think that the reality bomb is a super interesting concept. The ability to delete someone out of the course of history is so interesting, and normally this is paradox ridden and really hard to get around. It gets around all of the paradoxes and removes someone from the minds of other people. It takes the grandfather paradox in the direction where it actually works. So if you wanted to apply a situation where you could get rid of someone in the course of history, then this is definitely the way to do it. That concludes our talk about Season 4 of Doctor Who. We have a special episode coming next where we're talking about the waters of Mars, which is the last episode featuring the 10th Doctor that we will be talking about. As always, thank you for listening.